mystery only the world's greatest detective can solve.
Benoit Blanc!
What?
I have arrived to this street of Sesame on a sunny day turned cloudy. We have a culinary culprit in our oven mitts, and to solve this confectionery conundrum, we must look right in front of our googly eyes at Cookie Monster.
Welcome back to the MBA Podcast, where each week, or thereabouts, we explore the side streets and rabbit holes around movies, books, and albums. This week, we explore the 2025 installment of Rian Johnson's Knives Out franchise and the adventures of Benoit Blanc with Wake Up Dead Man, which, incidentally, is probably what Rian Johnson would have called the Rise of Skywalker if he was given access to another Star Wars film. But I digress, and I promised Dave and Dev I was not going to bring up the Last Jedi again. Anyway, enjoy the podcast.
Good little coincidence that we all watched the same film on the same night. Well done.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
We're syncing our
What a
schedules.
very good thing.
Very fortuitous situation.
Also shows that we are in our middle age, that none of us are out on a Saturday night.
Yeah, fucking was. That was a Saturday night.
Saturday night in December, and none of us were out.
No,
Sat watching a 3-hour movie.
in a fetal position, yeah. Of James Bond not playing James Bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoy?
Very much so.
I thought it was brilliant. I love the two previous ones as well.
They get amazing casts, so hey, a whole lot.
Yeah, what I didn't realize with this cast, and I don't know if it's intentional, there's two overlaps with this casting, is that every movie's got actors from Avengers in it playing a key role.
Okay.
So we've had Captain America, we've had John Batiste, we had Josh Brolin, Chris Evans, and we had Josh Brolin in this one. And then every Knives Out film has Daniel Craig acting alongside at least one James Bond co-star from his James Bond series as well.
Oh, really?
So the first film had Ana de Armas. I can't pronounce the name. The Armas, who co-starred in No Time to Die. And there was Dave Bautista. He was Inspector. And then as well, Andrew Scott, who was in the one we've just watched now, Wake Up Dead Man, was Inspector. You know, the freaky looking man who was also Moriarty from the new Sherlock Holmes with old Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, yeah.
And Jeffrey Wright was in Casino Royale and Quantum of
Royale, yes.
And No Time to Die. So it's like a purposeful kind of mixing and matching. I think Rian Johnson,
like Wes Anderson uses all its own, uses the same guys over and over again.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a trope or whether it's just a nodding to the links
to the different
in the universe.
Because Jeremy Renner as well was also in Avengers, and he was in this one.
Yeah. So it's chock full. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some. I'm just looking back at the old cast at the first movie, and shit, it's some proper actors in every role. Yeah, it's stacked.
But I think with these type of movies, you can get a hell of an ensemble because you're only paying, like, it's only about 12 people that you're filming. There's hardly any extras. It's all basically filmed in like one kind of, almost in like a locked room.
That's a very good point.
That's actually very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I think a lot of your budget can go.
And I think Jeremy Renner was saying, I think this is his first big role since his big snowplow accident. And he was commenting how much it felt like being in a stage production, in a play, and how much he really loved coming back to the thing he loves doing so much, acting, but that it felt like being in a play at the same time. Because they're all together all the time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very different kind of style of movie and storytelling.
That light there that lit up your face always actually reminds me that in the opening again, when that same scene where he meets them in the church and then later on he plays with the light.
They play the light so nicely, yeah.
You notice that, hey?
The light sets the mood when...
Yeah.
Especially in that scene when Benoit starts speaking about how he's a pragmatist and he doesn't want to choke on the belief, it goes all dark. Yeah. And then when the priest retorts, the light comes back in and he delivers that line.
Yeah, very cool. So noticeable. I mean, even I'm a heathen when it comes to things like that. But yeah, even both of us sitting here watching it, geez, they played with the light nicely on that one, and then also just accentuates the architecture and brings the stained glass into it, and they must have a lot of fun doing things like that.
But I suppose that's also what makes it feel like a play, because like on a stage play, you'd play with the light in that kind of unrealistic, surreal way. You don't normally get that kind of obvious, the lights are being fiddled with. And I think also what you're saying about the architecture there is why it shows the Catholic religion as the backdrop of the story, because the Catholic churches are so full of symbolism and architecture that it's really weighty and emotional, as opposed to doing maybe a modern Anglican church or a modern non-denominational church, which doesn't necessarily have that emotional weight in the architecture and the design. But soulless. Some of those, the new ones. But
so I was going to say, I mean, apparently Daniel Craig got paid $100 million to reprise his role as, which seems excessive.
Yes.
I may need to fact check that. And Netflix bought the IP or whatever behind Knives Out for over $400 million, I think, from Rian Johnson.
If only they had made that offer several years earlier, so he didn't have time to get involved with Star Wars. Would have been much. Just my opinion, but it would be much better for everybody. Knives Out, fantastic, love it.
It was definitely a talking point for me as well. So I was going to mention Star Wars, and very, very controversial.
I saw that there was controversy around it, but was he bad? Is it noticeable? Did he just take it off track completely?
No, it's not bad. It's just there was the new trilogy, and I'm very sensitive not to go down a Star Wars rabbit hole. But they had
we'll be here for days.
Yeah, but basically they had a new trilogy. The first one was written by J.J. Abrams, and so was the third one written by J.J. Abrams, if I'm not mistaken, Dev. And Rian Johnson wrote and directed the second one in the middle. So you had this kind of sharing of the Star Wars legacy between kind of great directors and storytellers. But for some people like me, that second one just didn't resonate the same as the first and the second. It just felt out, and you felt a little bit cheated for what your vision for the characters and the story arcs were a little bit in that one. Yeah.
And then does that ruin the following one, the third? Actually, no, where we're going down that rabbit hole.
I don't think it ruins it. They kind of pull it back. It almost feels it feels like a little bit. It feels like it's different people because the arc gets back on track and the characters are doing the things from the first one. But he did have nods. He did have nods to Star Wars in the movie. So when they're looking at the security footage with the policeman or in the police station, there's that one police officer who's playing the security footage. All around his PC screen, he's got little toys, and there's several of those toys are Star Wars figures that are around, which is an intentional nod to the Star Wars universe from Rian Johnson.
Brilliant,
very nice. I didn't even pick that up. I was just going to go back to the cast. I mean, that whole cast is so stacked. Obviously, you got Daniel Craig, and then you got Glenn Close, who, I mean, have you seen her resume? It is
she's
unreal.
Monstrous.
Yeah. But I couldn't believe that she's never won an Oscar, Academy Award. She's been nominated 8 times.
Seriously?
She has 0 wins. Yeah.
Wow.
So record with Peter O'Toole for the most nominations without a win.
Oh wow! Okay.
And she also was nominated for an Oscar and a Razzie for the same performance in the same movie.
Which one was that?
What was that?
Was it Hillbilly Elegy?
Yeah. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. What did he play in? Was he in 3 as well?
He's the voice of the baseball announcer in the one we watched in Wake Up Dead Man.
Oh, okay. So he's just a voiceover.
Yeah.
Okay, he's like what Bill Murray is to Wes Anderson, or Owen Wilson is to Wes Anderson.
He's in every
single movie, even if it's a small little part.
Well, I see he's in Brick. He's in Brick as well, whether that's Rian Johnson's first or second movie. When I was following those links you sent, Dave, he's I think he's the lead protagonist in the movie. So clearly they had got some kind of relationship, and I don't know if he does any writing, but he seems to be involved with it quite a bit.
Okay.
Because he was Third Rock in the Sun. Nice. He was the kid from Third Rock in the Sun.
That's where we all got to know him from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say the lead, not the lead, obviously not Daniel Craig, but the other Josh O'Connor. Have you seen him in anything else, or?
No, first time I've seen him.
Yeah,
I know he was in The Crown, and
he was Prince Charles in The Crown, I think.
Yes, that's it. There it is. Thank you.
But he stole the show. Eh?
He's good, hey? Yeah, he's very good. And he was excellent in The Crown. He did a very good Prince Charles. Huh.
Do you guys have a list of his films? Do you guys have a list? Is there anything on the lists in front of you that look well known?
His films?
Yeah.
No, one's coming up. Look good. There's a Spielberg one, Disclosure Day. I haven't seen that.
Okay.
Challenges. Don't know much about that.
Challenges was with Zendaya, and they were tennis players, and there's two dudes after the same chick, I think.
Okay.
Sounds riveting.
Yeah, then some TV and theatre, I think, eh?
Okay.
There we go.
He has the kind of face that you expect. You've probably seen him in like a World War I movie or a World War II movie. You can imagine.
Yeah, he's coming up in, I think it's called The History of Sound, a World War I love story.
Yes, yeah.
But that's being released. It was released this September.
Definitely a man on the rise. I think he's got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, he's pretty young, born 90. That make him.
Yeah.
11 years younger than
2 years younger than me.
God.
A little bit of a flex.
Yeah.
And did you recognize the character Samson?
Yes,
of course.
Take me out of my misery.
Okay. That's Thomas Hayden Church. That's Ursula's fiance from George of the Jungle.
Yes.
who inspired Thomas the Missionary in Darren Aronofsky's sequel to George of the
Jungle. Yeah. Exactly.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
In Disney's Tarzan, which was in 1999, Glenn Close was the voice of, Carla or Kayla, whatever it was, of the adoptive mother of Tarzan, the gorilla.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I knew we'd link it back.
I was going to say, did you see there was a Forks Out parody crossover with Sesame Street? So we released it at the same time. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's called Forks Out. And it's a parody crossover because apparently I was reading somewhere fans were demanding a crossover between Sesame Street and the Benoit Blanc universe, but they haven't used any live actors, but they've got a Muppet of Benoit Blanc who is solving a mystery of who ate Cookie Monster's berry pie in Sesame Street.
Too good.
I will watch that this evening.
I'll send you the link.
Definitely give it a watch.
Send you the link.
Okay, so you guys obviously saw that. I think it's his cousin Nathan Johnson. Does composed all the music for the Knives Out movies, all three.
Did not know that.
I didn't know that.
And then his brother Aaron Johnson, music producer, produced the Frey's album How to Save a Life and their second self-titled album, The Frey.
Wow.
But geez, those are biggies. That's a big album.
Yeah, massive.
Wow.
Quite a talented family.
Very impressive. Yeah. And they came from very humble beginnings by the sounds of it.
Okay.
Did we find out if they're related to Dwayne?
Dwayne's got New Zealand heritage.
Okay.
Was it? He's got Islander heritage, doesn't he? Dwayne Johnson. Because he's a rugby fan.
Okay.
Because he's part Maori or part Islander.
Maori,
yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Very, very cool.
Which brings me nicely to rugby and Daniel Craig. Big rugby fan.
Okay, bring it.
Yeah, not as good as Chris Christopherson, but No, I just found a picture of him and his little rugby team winning the. He played for Hoylake, which I think I played against Hoylake. There's a famous golf course up that area in Liverpool. So actually, I think I did play against Hoylake rugby club many years ago, and I was playing up in the northeast of England.
So
Northwest.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's quite a famous old club, and he was a big
And
rugby
when was
fan.
that? Before he was acting, or when he was a student, or?
I think at school, and then he raised by a single mom, and his mom used to take him to the theatre. Yeah, so the rugby side, I haven't heard a lot on it, but I just know that he is a rugby fan.
Okay.
Josh O'Connor was also a rugby player back in the day, and I don't know how far he made it, but he was very into art when he was younger, but didn't think he had like the talents to go far, so he switched over to rugby, and then discovered acting.
Yes, there's a chance. There's hope for me yet. Maybe I'll get into the next Knives Out. Yeah. But yeah, I listened to a good Smartless interview with him, Daniel Craig, today.
Oh, awesome! Yeah,
it's quite fun. He seems like he's one of those who just he laughs pretty freely. He kind of he doesn't take himself seriously. I mean, it's not sound like I know the guy. Obviously, I don't. But when you hear somebody, he's not guarded. He just says it as it is. Laughs at himself, laughs at the jokes, and it's a good episode to have a listen to.
Okay, no, I'll check it out because he's got quite an awesome portfolio of movies he's acted in. I mean, I think like James Bond kind of put him on the map, but then once you recognize him from James Bond, you see him in a lot of things that are really, really good that you've seen before, but he wasn't necessarily the lead or the main actor.
But did you know that he's played a South African twice?
I was just about to mention that in Munich.
Yeah.
He played the South African. Munich was a fantastic movie, yeah.
It was a good one.
South African Mossad agent of South African heritage.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And what was the other South African that he played?
The Power of One.
Oh, really?
When he was really young. Yeah, 1992. And so he said after that because he played Sergeant Botha or something. And in this interview I listened to today, he said, I played a Nazi South African. And then he said, and then after that, I just kept getting cast as Nazi South African in every casting role. I suppose in 92, it's still, before when, before democracy and all the rest. So there still would have been, if you think of Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 2 that was never aired here because the bad guys were South Africans.
The bad guys were South Africans.
Until democracy, yeah. And it was just free Mandela protests of all the extras in the background. And
I still haven't got my free Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, so we only got to see that.
How was his accents?
Munich, he was good. I think I might have seen The Power of One years ago, but I'd actually want to watch it again. That's one of my favorite books.
So on a lighter note, I was looking for different symbolism in the movie, and I Googled harlot whore, and
your search history is just a trip now.
No, but the reason why I bring it up is that a Google search of harlot whore brings up surprisingly nothing untoward. You would expect that would just open up a pornographic minefield of links and everything else.
Pandora's box, if you excuse the pun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it kind of just goes straight into biblical references and biblical articles and biblical websites that deal with harlots. I was really surprised.
And a little, not a little disappointed.
Oh, well. and an accidental discovery. Oh dear. It's research for the podcast. I was not expecting to find this. Yeah.
Dev, I feel you and I are going to have to testify in a divorce hearing at some point.
No, absolutely. But on the harlot horse, so I dug a bit deeper there. When Benoit's doing his big reveal at the end, Wix was interred in what we've been led to believe in the narrative is his grandfather's tomb. But But when Benoit was giving his big reveal, he's like he was interred in his father's tomb, which then kind of opens up the wormhole of, is his father and his grandfather the same person? And was his mother Grace incestually abused?
Oh, wow.
And that's why she was kept under lock and key and under a misogynistic father's finger
Sure.
inside the church grounds. And then like when you start looking at that, you start looking at the other conversations online around that, and it starts bringing up a lot of overlaps symbolically with Lolita. So when Martha's telling the young priest about the backstory, you see Grace in the garden in a red bikini, like I think sipping something with a straw, but it's like it's an iconic Lolita pose. And then she also says when the grandfather arrived, he was widowed and arrived with a daughter, which is very much like Nabokov's story when the protagonist is widowed and moves around with the daughter. It was stepdaughter in Nabokov's case. We're not sure whether it was his daughter legitimately or the stepdaughter. But when you start thinking about all of that, then it makes all the scenes where the grandfather priest is confiding in Martha as a young girl and building up that antagonism between Martha and Grace very sinister. Is he grooming? Yeah. Was he grooming Martha? Yeah, along the way, and then luckily for Martha, he died before he could do his bit.
Interesting. Is there any other? Have you gone online to see if there's any other similar theories?
Well, sorry. Can I just cut in there quickly before you go, Cuz? Funnily enough that you mentioned that, because I also read that one of Rian Johnson's, I think, biggest movies, or had the biggest impact on his life, was Woody Allen's Annie Hall. And Woody Allen obviously married his stepdaughter.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's just a weird overlap there.
Yeah, so it could be all these things that, maybe it's just something that people are watching and researching are making more than it is, or maybe it's meant to be obscure and open for discussion. When you start rewatching those scenes from that perspective, then you start kind of seeing the old priest as actually quite misogynistic, because everything is about the apple of Eve, so it's almost all sin is belonging or coming forth from Eve, and Eve is the wellspring of sin, and that's what he's fighting against.
So very interesting. I mean, this one was a lot darker than the last two, that's for sure.
One thing on the darkness of the movie, and like some of the things that weren't made explicit but maybe were there. I'm not sure if it's just me, but Dr. Sharp, right? He's all bleak because his wife and children leave him. So do we see them in the church in the beginning, and they're all happy? Then we hear the wife's left, and he's all sad. And then we cut to the end of the movie where him and Martha have made the plan to stage the resurrection and then the death. Yeah. My question is did he always have the tub with body melting acid in the basement?
Yeah.
And or how did he know about that? And did his wife and kids really leave him?
Correct. I thought that was what the scene was going to cut to, that the wife and kids were going to be down there as well.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting to find the remains of wife and kids when they walked down the basement there. Yeah. But it still doesn't necessarily say that didn't happen.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind rewatching, but not as much humor, but it was still good little moments. I enjoyed Jeffrey Wright's.
There were some great moments. Young, dumb, and full of Christ. I mean, what a fantastic line, It was really, really good.
Benoit Blanc saying, "Where are you, Scooby-Doo?" Something along those lines.
Did he say that in the movie?
Scooby-Doo. Yeah,
that's so cool.
He was like, "Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?" So something like that.
Oh, I missed that. I must go look for that. That's amazing.
And did you guys see the nod to the Hollow Man, John Dixon Carr?
Yes. Did you see the reading list that they gave from their little book club?
Yes.
So that's why I'm reading The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. That was on the book list. Okay. That was one of the five. That was one of the five books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so I'm halfway through it now.
Was there also Edgar Allan Poe in that?
I'm not too sure.
Murder in the
Rue Morgue. Is that Poe?
So the Evil Demon Golf Ball from Hell was based on Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart.
Okay.
Okay.
How
Okay,
is that?
so he's a recurring theme then.
Yeah.
It's an interesting movie. Well,
And-
9-minute film.
I was going to say, so I had no idea what the Hollow Man was. So I went and looked it up. For anybody who's not aware, it was 1935 book. It was it was the first, basically like locked in a room, whodunit type of book.
Okay.
Or it's
Yeah.
definitely one of the most famous. And he's chapter 17. He gives that locked room lecture, which I think is basically like the premise for most of these whodunit books and whodunit movies. So I'm definitely going to put it on my reading list.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
me
then
too.
they say his style then kind of influenced Arthur Conan Doyle, Agatha Christie, and the rest in terms of having this master intellect who has a sidekick, and the sidekick is the narrator who can narrate this imperfect character who's a genius going through. So a lot of the tropes and the style of it that they say kind of come from the Hollow Man.
Conan Doyle was before that, though, hey?
No, I think he was after, wasn't he?
No, Conan Doyle's... So
Was
this was written in 1935.
No,
Conan Doyle was
1835.
No, 1935. 1935, The Hollow Man. Yeah.
Oh,
Originally
maybe I'm
published
thinking about
1935.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, possibly. Yep, that could be that.
Okay, yeah, so I see it was Edgar Allan Poe, not Carr. That was the template for the later Sherlock Holmes and Poirot and everybody else.
Sorry, Doors shooting you down.
No, not at all. But they were speaking about Edgar Allan Poe. There's two nods to The Big Lebowski in the movie. Did you get that? The guy who's the author.
There's a line of them all dressed. There's a line of them all dressed up as.
Yes, there's a bunch of Donnies who come to a signing at the end because early in the movie, someone makes a comment about how his fiction's only appreciated by like kind of fringe survivalists, and then that closing scene of the movie, he's got a line of Donnies lined up. But then also there's the mention and the nodding back to Edgar Allan Poe. And what we mentioned, but it didn't make the cut, was that Edgar Allan Poe wrote that essay, The Philosophy of Furniture, in which he had the line, "The carpet is the soul of the apartment," which is then the flow through to the whole premise of The Big Lebowski. The rug ties the room together.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I haven't read Poe. I really feel like I've let myself down. I haven't. Then
I also need to read it, man.
So this story sounds like kind of, what's the word? It sounds a little bit mad and it sounds a little bit Tintin-esque. A spoiler alert about how the detective solves this locked room murder. Kind of who done it. But at the end of the day, it's a orangutan that's a sailor captured in Borneo and brought back to France to try and sell, but he couldn't always control it, and it had always watched how its master shaved and groomed and went to the barber, and it stole the cutthroat razor and went running down the street, climbed up a drain pipe into a house, and slit a woman's throat while trying to shave her, and then strangled the daughter and shoved the body up the chimney, and then went running out. And none of this is known, but there's just a woman with a slit throat and her daughter shoved up a chimney, and no footprints in the snow outside the window. How did it happen in the locked room? So it's kind of convoluted.
What book is that?
That's Murder at the Room Wall.
What happened to? So he solved it. What happened to the orangutan? Was it chimp or orangutan?
I think the orangutan went back to the owner or got sold. I can't remember. I don't think it got destroyed.
They didn't hang it.
No, I don't think so.
Have I told you that story about Hartlepool Football Club?
No.
Okay. So, They call them the monkey hangers or the chimp chokers. That's the nickname for their club, because during the Napoleonic Wars, a monkey washed up on shore from a shipwreck. But because the monkey couldn't speak English, they assumed it was a Frenchman, had it caught, tried it as a spy, found it guilty, and hung it.
What?
No.
That's wild. But
it can't speak English, therefore it must be French.
Must be French.
Must be a spy.
But dude,
they had a full trial and then hung it.
was it a monkey or an orangutan, or do we know what size primate or ape it was? Must have been human-sized. Must have been person-sized.
Well, I mean, there was no internet back then, so they wouldn't have known. It could have been a small person. And remember, people were a lot smaller back then, and the British were.
And monkeys were bigger back then, yeah.
No, I don't know.
When was this?
Napoleonic Wars, so 19th century, I think.
Yeah.
But Dave, there was that story on fish, on No Such Thing as a Fish. Similar story, but backwards. Someone had caught, had captured a Gaelic person. I think it was a Gaelic person or a Celtic person, and they glued them into a bearskin or into a furry suit. And I don't know whether it's torture or a prank gone wrong, and this person escaped somehow. But where they escaped wasn't in their land where people understood their language. So for months or years, this person was glued into the suit and was constantly asking for help. And everybody just thought it was the unintelligible sounds of this pet monkey or this pet bear. Until eventually, for some reason or other, there was somebody in a crowd or in the public space that knew something about Gaelic.
They understood French.
And recognized the word for help me or whatever the story is. And he got rescued.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if that happened first and that led to the monkey being hung because maybe they thought it was an imposter. It's a wild world, man.
It really was.
It's a wild world. It's probably worthwhile to learn the phrase, help me, I'm a human being, in every language on the planet, just in case you happen to get captured and glued into a bear suit and find yourself not in your own suburb. Yeah. We should start immediately, and we'll put a link in the blog so our listeners can also learn, because they're very valuable to us.
So if we cross the Mgani by mistake and we end up in a Mamsmtoti, we're not mistaken for... Yeah.
Cross the Mgani or the Mslunga, we lost.
Yeah. Out of my zone. There's I've got one little link back to Wes Anderson is Jeffrey Wright, who plays the what does he play? He's the priest. He's the
he's like the main priest.
The main priest, for lack of a better word. So I just read an interview on him, and then he says, other things near the summit, Wes Anderson's French Dispatch was just incredibly beautiful music to my ears when I read it.
Okay. And what's his name again?
He was in French Dispatch, and he was in Asteroid City, and he's in Phoenician Scheme, which is the new one.
Oh, wow. So
Jeffrey Wright.
Okay, so he's been in a few of them. So he's now part of the squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would seem so.
And also he's also Felix Leiter in the Daniel Craig James Bond series.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's where I've seen him. Yeah. It's the other one.
How great was Josh Brolin as well?
He plays it well there.
So good.
His first few stories. It's just that poor priest.
When they didn't confess it.
Yeah. I had to finish up in a Catholic monthly. Yeah. One I was standing, another one I had my wrist at this angle.
Yeah. Five Hail Marys.
Two glory bees.
Yeah.
Well, at least now I know what the punishment, what I have to do.
Yeah. If you ever decide to become Catholic.
No, I am Catholic. It's nice to know what the punishment is without having to go down the road to confess.
It's come a long way from the Goonies.
Josh Brolin was the Goonies.
Josh Brolin was the big brother. Josh Brolin was the big brother from the Goonies?
Hey,
yeah.
His dad was a famous actor as well.
James, James Brolin ended up marrying Barbara Streisand.
Exactly. I thought Streisand was his mom, but it's just the stepmom.
Stepmom, yeah. But yeah, he had quite a drop off after Goonies, I think, and then he starred in
Deadpool.
So No Country for Old Men, or No Country for Old Men, with Javier Bardem, and then he's just went on an absolute rampage of films, and now he's unstoppable. You ever watch him in Gangster Squad?
No.
Gary Oldman, Ryan Gosling, so good.
Oh wow!
Always plays like a very movie.
Okay.
Always plays like a very strong, tough guy. And I don't know if you ever saw him in Men in Black 3. He plays a young Tommy Lee Jones. Now, Tommy Lee Jones, very, very hard accent to pull off, It's very, very unique. And I swear to God, he plays Tommy Lee Jones like in the past, and he absolutely nails it.
Oh, brilliant. I'd like
mannerisms, everything.
I want to watch him in W. Did anybody see him? Anybody see that? George W. Bush?
No, apparently it's very good.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's very good in it.
Okay. No, I mean, he's good in most things. Did you ever hear the story? Sorry, that takes me off on a little bit of a tangent about when so who did W take over the White House from? Clinton?
I think so.
Is that right? So when the Clinton administration left, they removed W off every single keyboard in the White House. Imagine how many computers are in the White House. And
you
every
think they have better
keyboard.
things to do with their time, man?
That's very petty, I love it, that.
Yeah.
This is a sense of humor, I suppose.
The kind of petty I aspire to be.
Well, one fact about the church that they filmed.
Yeah.
So the church, the exterior of that church is a church in London, not in New York. It's in Epping Forest. And
saw them.
Yeah, and so it was designed by an architect called Bloomfield. But what's interesting there is in his architectural practice, he had an assistant architect in 1862 named Thomas Hardy, who went on to become the famous novelist and author. And
so it was the Thomas Hardy.
The Thomas Hardy. I did get two sausage fans.
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
So sausages do not appear significantly in any of the works of Rian Johnson or the famous detective authors that we've discussed.
That's only according to AI. They're probably there in the background.
However, Agatha Christie famously called herself a sausage machine, a perfect sausage machine. Not because she liked sausages, but because she was so prolific in churning things out. Okay. So I think that counts. And then there was a restaurant in New Orleans that offered the Edgar Allan Po' Boy sandwich, which was a giant sandwich offered for a limited time in October, featuring alligator sausage, provolone cheese, and roast beef gravy. Doesn't sound bad. We should get some alligator sausage for the thermos.
Yeah.
When you drive back from Shishlewy, there's that place outside Richards Bay, that big tent that has like a shish and yama, but they just cook crocodile meat, and all the truckers stop there. Have you seen it?
I probably have. I just never paid attention.
It's like a rundown
tent.
Did
you stop and get some?
No, you mad. It's the kind of place where it's probably not crocodile meat. It's probably the one person traveling by themselves who came to inquire about the crocodile meat. You know, you got to go there in numbers. You got to go there in numbers so that you don't become the crocodile meat. Yeah, But it's just complete dodge.
What's on the menu?
I've had this before.
Yeah, well, it does taste. It does taste like greasy pork. So if we all taste like long pig, then who knows?
Okay.
Yeah. Cannibal Holocaust.
It all comes back.
happy coincidence that we all watched that same film.
No, very, very good.
It was.
But it's driving me. I want to go back and watch. I want to go and watch the other two again. The second one, I don't know.
I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, the first one, I want to watch that again. I also had a thing for Jamie Lee Curtis back in the day, so so that might be worth another look.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Maybe we should watch True Lies then.
That's Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
Do it slowly.
Yeah.
Do a simile.
Which does a dance.
Yeah.
I remember watching that as a kid as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Repeatedly. Wore the tape out.
On my 8th birthday.
But luckily I said 5 Hail Marys and 2 Glory Bees, and I was all good.
My name is Michelle. Carl thought you'd like me.
Let me do the talking. You may start by unzipping your dress. No. Turn around. Do it doucement. Do it very slowly.
Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for joining us. We're not sure which movie, book, or album we're discussing next week, but keep an eye on our socials. And until then,
5 Hail Marys and 1 Glory Be.